Hey gang, John Bacarella here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is August 2nd and it is a Monday, which is not a typical day for us to be doing a fishing report. But what can I say? My cameraman is in town for like an hour and so he's got to shoot the video, he's got to edit the video, and then he is gone again and he's going to be gone for another week. So we're going to make this one quick and we're just going to get it out there because, I don't know, some of you guys, you just like to hear me talk or something. So that's what I'm going to do again for you. So the lake right now, 75 degrees at Belle Isles, the water temp, and it's come up again from last week, so I lied to you. I thought it was peaked, and it's not peaked. So we've had a lot of rain, we've had a lot of warm temps, and that water temp is still going up. Looked at the satellite image a little while ago, and you can see all the algae blooms over on the Canadian side from all of that rain and runoff coming out of, you know, they pump all that water out of the fields over there, and all those phosphates go in and gives us big algae blooms. But the American side's looking pretty darn clear right now. So that's good news for us over on the American side, as long as it doesn't get too clear like it did in the spring and make everything really tough. But anyway, so water looks great out there. Water temperature's up, so still stuck in those summer patterns. Your daylight hours are getting shorter, in case you haven't noticed it, guys. So now that we're in August, our maximum number of hours of daylight have started to drop, but that hasn't affected any of the weeds out there yet. The weeds are still growing, and we're probably still going to put a few more inches on most of those weeds and weed beds out there before we start to go the other direction. So it's still a game of weeds out there for a lot of the fish. I mean, weeds and rock piles and everything like we talked about in the last report. Although it definitely seems like there's a lot more activity now up on that north end of the lake, especially up around Grassy, and all the cool water coming out of that north channel up there is starting to get more activity up there. More guys catching walleyes up there. It seems like that walleye bite's picking up, even out in the lake up there. Those fish in the south channel, a lot of them seem like they moved up into the river. But that's not the only thing that's moved up into the river. I'd expect a lot more smallie activity up in the river. There's muskie action going on up in the river. You can even catch them from shore, as one young feller did. He got a nice ski casting from shore up there. But I'm also hearing about guys jigging now up in the St. Clair River and back down in the Detroit River as well. Even though that water in the Detroit River is going to be warmer, those deeper holes in the Detroit River for the guys that are vertical jigging the muskies, that is definitely a pattern that you can use right now at this time of the year. Same thing up on the St. Clair River, up in the channels, but up on those channels you're going to want to focus not necessarily in the deepest portions, but you're going to want to portion on the breaks and on the weed lines that those skis are going to cruise in those areas. Smallmouth bass out on the lake, guys are still doing well out there. Tubes, and it sounds like bigger baits now, and we're just watching even the drop shot baits and everything is going up in size right now. So tubes, even up to 5-inch on some of those tubes right now, have been producing some big fish, as Wayne Carpenter found out when he was out earlier. I think he was on this weekend, he was out there, and those bigger tubes were producing. And we're hearing a lot of guys catching walleye still on tubes and still on Ned rigs and drop shot baits out there. So I mean, you know, it's if you get into a bunch of those, into a big school of these fish, they're hungry. They're definitely feeding. So perch bite out there is still going. Not much has really changed on that. Find them weed beds and move around. But we've had a great summer on perch, and I think it's just going to get better and better as we go into the fall. And you guys know from past history that 9 Mile to the Yacht Club area is just going to keep filling up with more fish. So that perch fishing down there ought to just get better and better, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out and work those weed beds up on the north end as well. So sturgeon fishing is still going strong up there, up on the St. Clair River, and a lot of people are seeing them out in the lake too. And you know, that midwater zone out between Metro Point and the shipping channel, about halfway out there. Guys running out early in the morning, it's not uncommon to see those fish just take off out in front of the boat. It's a lot harder to catch those fish out in the main lake, though, because they tend to be a little more scattered out there than fishing up in the river, fishing on those flats where you know those fish are going to be moving across those flats. So it kind of just cuts the water volume down when you're chasing them. It doesn't mean you can't catch them out there. The muskie guys have been known to snag, foul hook those sturgeon when they're trolling for muskies out there quite often. But it's definitely a little tougher fishing for them out there if you're targeting them with live bait. So that's the fishing report I got for you this week. And as soon as my cameraman gets back from his trips, then we'll shoot another one for you. And by then, I think we'll be talking about a little lower water temperatures, I hope, and starting to transition a little bit out of that summer pattern that we're in right now. Hey, if you like this video content and you want to get updated as soon as the next video is out there, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon and you'll get notified as soon as the next video is up.